Hey there, motorcycle and power sports news. This is Jackie Van Ham, and buckle up because this is your ride of the week. Clay, I saw you pull in on this mind-blowing, crazy, stretched out chopper, and I ran over. I literally was talking to somebody about a 1919 Indian motorcycle. I was like, get out of my way. I have to go talk about this chopper right now. Thank you for stopping and taking the time to talk to us.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So before we jumped on camera, I chatted with you a little bit about this bike. Clay, you are from Pennsylvania.
Yep.
You work as a professional welder. And this bike just came back from a great big huge trip out to California because this was at Born Free. And how did that turn out for you?
Really well. Yeah, it ended up winning Biltwell People's Champ competition.
The Biltwell's People Champ competition winner. That's no slouch. There's some pretty hot competition out there, Clay.
Yeah, it was tough.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun.
I bet it was. Okay, so let's just jump right into it. What is going on with this absolutely over-the-top build? I see right out of the gate, this is a Honda CB750 4-cylinder. What made you decide on that engine?
Just something different.
Yeah.
They're cheap right now, and you don't really see a ton of CB750 choppers anymore, so
yeah,
just wanted to do this. It was different for me. I never built one, so
okay.
Just wanted to have fun with it.
Well, I'm sure this was a load of fun to build, and more importantly, a load of fun to ride. You even rode here on it, which was, we rarely see that out of bikes that are such high caliber custom bikes. How does this ride? How does this handle? How does this go down the road?
You got to get going. You got to get going on it, and then it's fun, but you need a big parking lot to turn it around, that's for sure.
Right on. Let's get into some of the details of this bike. Where does this great big huge stretched out front end come from? Let's talk about some of the components.
So this is the first thing I built for this bike. It's a 6-foot long rigid girder front end. No suspension, just like a rigid front end. And I never built one before, but that's just what I had, and it was my first start to this project. Then I went to an a Santee swing arm frame. And it was all rusted and stuff, so I ended up having to chop it about here and all the way back there near the back motor mount and gooseneck the front of it. Something else I never did before, and just kind of put the front end on it, see where it's at, and I just went from there. I started making everything from scratch. It was all completely custom.
And speaking of gooseneck, that also leads to the name of this bike. What's the name of this bike?
Loose Goose.
Loose Goose. Let's talk a little bit more about some of the details of this bike. This paint and the finishes on it are so fun and so crazy and so wild. Did you do the painting on this? Did you send this out?
My friend Barry, Depth of Image, painted this, did all the body work on it, and I told him I want a 70s Kelsey Martin style candy paint job, infinity lines, flames, stuff like that. And we put a couple ideas together, and this is what he came up with, and it's exactly what I wanted.
I know, it's such an excellent collaboration, leading all the way to this king and queen with this crushed velvet. Really beautiful, beautiful, very cool style. I think this is just such a great bike. Can you tell us a little bit more about the engine and what's going on here? Is this a stocker? Did you change anything? Did you do any building?
It's stock. Yeah, it sat outside when I bought it. It was fully spray painted flat black, so I took all the spray paint off of it, polished it up, and luckily it ran and everything was fine. But yeah, it's just a bone stock CB750, velocity stacks on it, some aftermarket fin covers, and nothing internally is different really. It has an electronic ignition in it.
Okay.
And a different clutch, but that's about it.
Right on,
yeah.
Right on. Well, it's a great looking bike, and again, I love this bodywork back here. This is so trick. I love the whole lines. Such a cool vibe. What a beautiful bike. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk through it with us. And then the side sweat pipes.
They're loud.
They are loud, as a matter of fact. Is there any way I could ask nicely for you to start this?
Yeah, I can fire it up.
Thank you so much, Clay, for taking the time to talk to us about this week's Ride of the Week.